Hi, everyone. Kim here. Felt inspired to share a dream I had the other night. And the scene was that this area was just covered in water. It was kind of I got the sense of it being just like a huge flood, and it was very cataclysmic. It was like a devastation, and everything was just covered in water, and I was swimming in this water that was everywhere. And a woman came floating by me, and she was laying on her back, but she was struggling, and she was crying out for help. And her stomach, she was pregnant, and her stomach was protruded up over the water, so like a mountain, and it was transparent, and so you could look into her tummy and see the baby also swimming in water. And I reached out to her and grabbed her and knew that I needed to take her to safety to get this baby in a place where she could give birth. And eventually we got to a place where the water had subsided or something, but there was dry ground. And I was carrying her, and I approached, it was a policeman, somebody in authority, and asked where could I take this woman so we could give birth to the baby. And they pointed over to an area of town which was not probably a good area of town. It was like Skid Row, and it was just, they were not helpful, they were rude. It was just was not at all going to work out. And so I was wandering around, and then I remembered a elder woman that I had met months ago or a while back anyway. And I had met her, and she was at one time had a very prestigious job, and she was, really important person. And she made a choice to live a simple life. And she surrendered her life to God and to service. And where I had met her was at it was like a monastery, but a church type setting. And it also had a cafe. And she just was a very quiet, simple, wise woman that was there to serve people and to just be a life of service. So I knew immediately, that's where I need to take this woman that was going to be giving birth, because I knew that that was the place where she would be able to be cared for and tended to. And when I woke up, I was so aware of the symbolism of the water is a time of just tremendous, tremendous clearing. Water just is just representative of our consciousness, and that we're really in a time right now, personally, as I was swimming in the water, of a deep, deep clearing and cleansing, and it's all in preparation for a new birth. The baby also swimming in waters. And where we are right now, and the times that we are in, personally and collectively, we are going through a time that can feel very apocalyptic. Is that the word? Anyway, like a real cataclysmic type of feeling, like utter destruction. But it's not in a negative sense. It's a deep, deep clearing, washing away, clearing out for the birth. And the thing is, when I approached the authorities, what I got from that was, this is not the time to look outside of ourselves, to look at like old ways of where we look to others, we look to governments, we look to even religious figures for answers, and economics, whatever the system is. Anything that we look outside of ourselves is not going to work. That's an old way. And it's returning to a simplicity of being. It's returning to this place of I call it communion with the divine, communion with the inner presence that's in our hearts. The love, the wisdom is like everything that we need to know, everything that will guide us in the days ahead. It comes from the quietness of our hearts. And that is, as we do that personally, that is giving birth collectively. It's like a return to the mystery, the return to the love of God that is everywhere and in everyone. It's a return to kindness. It's a return to just a simple way of living and in serving one another. So I would just encourage us all in these days ahead to nurture that within ourselves, within our hearts. If you don't have a spiritual practice or a way of connecting to the quiet, to beginning to listen inside, and a life of prayer, of contemplation, I really encourage us all to begin that. These are rocky days. These are turbulent days. But it's all in preparation of what we are birthing within ourselves. And yeah, I just encourage us all to listen, to simplify, and rejoice, because we are paving way for the new. That's all I have to share for today. Love you. Many blessings. Bye.